Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy is 50-0, 24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford, but both of their best wins are Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was a younger, greener Canelo when Floyd beat him. Bud beat an older, slower, but more seasoned Canelo. Now, Bud's not going to surpass Floyd because of the record. He's not going to make 50-0. Bud has to separate himself. What he has to do is do something that Floyd didn't do. Take on the challenges that people are scared for you to take. Just that's what separates Leonard and Durant from the rest. If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the all-time list. As of right now, if Bud Crawford retires, I would have him somewhere around the top 5, top.
When you watch Terrence Bud Crawford speak these days, you sense a fighter fully aware of his place in boxing history. In a live interview, Crawford declared with calm certainty that Floyd Mayweather's era has passed. "This is my era now," he said, making it clear that the spotlight should be on him as the present face of the sport. It wasn't arrogance, it was conviction, the kind that comes from climbing through divisions, taking on challenges, and never wavering under pressure. Still, whenever Mayweather's name is mentioned, the conversation deepens. Floyd has reminded fans that he schooled Canelo Alvarez at a time when he was older than Canelo is now.
I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting, being that, me, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, we was all cool at one point in time.
Now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight.
24 world champions, 5 divisions conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because of the undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fought great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford.
Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. Now remember this.
Sounds familiar.
No. I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36 and we fight. And now what y'all gonna say? Well, now he got what? I don't know how many fights he got.
In his eyes, that victory proves his skill and experience remain unmatched. Canelo is a hell of a fighter. "I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo," Floyd pointed out, framing his win as a greater accomplishment than Crawford's triumph over the Mexican superstar. Analysts have echoed this debate. Some insist Crawford cannot surpass Mayweather unless he matches the undefeated 50-0 record. They argue Bud must separate himself by doing something Floyd never did, such as facing dangerous, bigger men like David Benavidez.
Floyd Mayweather, top 5 of all time?
Not in my book. No,
not even top 10.
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5.
10.
He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought him? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he going to prison when he get through. And then to take it even further.
He fought Cotto.
Cotto was not on his level. Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto is not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great.
I
All
agree.
right, so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them best 2 names you can pull up besides Canelo?
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't fight?
So my point is I'm not going to say who
because I can't name a person.
I'm not going to say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was of his equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James.
If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he would surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the all-time list, one expert argued. But others, like trainer Robert Garcia, disagree. For them, Crawford has nothing left to prove, and shouldn't risk his unbeaten record against a naturally larger, more dangerous opponent. Jeff Mayweather offered his own measured take, noting that while Crawford clearly outboxed Canelo, the version of Alvarez he beat wasn't the same prime fighter Floyd had faced. In Jeff's view, context matters.
Jake and Tyson and you know, some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, you know, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, you know, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You know, you lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero, after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul, I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. But it is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't.
Crawford just didn't get hit as much as Canelo did, he said, crediting Bud's defense, but reminding fans not to elevate the win beyond its reality. Not everyone is so cautious. Roy Jones Jr. has questioned Floyd's entire resume, arguing that aside from Canelo, Mayweather rarely fought the very best at their peak. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Jones asked, dismissing many of Floyd's biggest names as past their primes. For him, the label of greatest ever doesn't hold up against scrutiny.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
Nope. Nope.
No friends in this business for you?
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think me and Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but
right.
When Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know. I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
I beat your ass?
Okay, that's a no. That's a no.
You know, Canelo knocks him out in the first half of the fight because he couldn't handle the power. And obviously that proved not to be, or to be the case, that Crawford could definitely handle the power. Were you surprised that, you know, it didn't look like, you know, maybe once or twice it looked like maybe Crawford felt it, but never in any kind of real trouble?
Yeah, I don't think that Canelo really hit him. I mean, he hit him a couple times clean, but I mean, Crawford, you know, Crawford's a big guy too. Crawford took it like it was nothing. You know, I mean, and he hit Canelo a few times. I mean, and you know, and Canelo took it as well. So I mean, basically, at the end of the day, I mean, they both took, you know, decent shots from each other, but Crawford just didn't get hit as much as Canelo did.
Do you think that was a case of you can't Canelo's a guy that's not out there throwing huge combinations. He's more of a punch at a time kind of guy, and that's not going to work against someone as slick and talented as Bud Crawford.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, basically, Canelo was looking for just one big shot, trying to land a big shot on Crawford, but Crawford wasn't having it. And Crawford at times would say, I guess he would say to himself, I need to, do a little more work, and basically, and it seemed like he just did that, and he would let his hands.
Others draw the debate along lines of fame versus skill. Floyd's popularity and pay-per-view success are undeniable, but some analysts suggest Crawford's raw adaptability, his ability to switch stances seamlessly, apply power from both hands, and cut off the ring gives him a technical edge Floyd never displayed. In hypothetical discussions, more than a few pick Crawford to beat Mayweather head-to-head, pointing to his reach, size, and ring IQ as decisive advantages. Former champions add their voices too. Shane Mosley emphasized that Crawford's natural size gives him tools Floyd never had.
Jake and Tyson and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response was overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do.
Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Who wins this fight? I'm going with Terrence Crawford, and I don't think that's unpopular or crazy to say. I think most people will agree with me. I understand Floyd Mayweather has a lot of fans out there, but the truth is, as great as Floyd Mayweather is, Terrence Crawford is one of one. And I say that because who else has knockout power in both hands, is able to switch stances between orthodox and southpaw so seamlessly while having great footwork? It's not like Terrence Crawford is some stationary target or a flat-footed fighter that's going to be chasing Floyd around. Terrence Crawford knows how to cut the ring off. He has tremendous ring IQ. And not only is he a great boxer, but he's a great fighter. He'll be able to make it dirty. If he is on the inside with Floyd, that power will carry him far. And I just don't see how Floyd will be able to beat a Terrence Crawford. I really don't see it. I understand Floyd's defense is incredible, but he is smaller than Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford would have a significant reach advantage on Floyd Mayweather. I believe Terrence Crawford would also be taller than Floyd Mayweather, as well as all the skillful and technical aspects of what I just laid out prior. So I don't understand how anybody could pick Floyd Mayweather to beat Terrence Crawford. Styles make fights, and I believe Terrence has the style to beat one Floyd Mayweather. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. Join the discussion, subscribe for more, and leave a like if you enjoyed the time spent. Thank you. You are all appreciated.
Crawford is better all around. Bigger, longer arms, harder to counter, Mosley explained, while still praising Mayweather's brilliance. Jeff Mayweather countered that Floyd's victory over a younger, greener Canelo while past his own prime was a feat Crawford can't diminish. Then there are the trainers. Greg Hackett praised Bud's win as career-defining but stressed it doesn't erase Floyd's body of work. Sean Porter celebrated the dismantling of Canelo as proof of Crawford's adaptability and greatness.
Terrence Bud Crawford defeats Canelo Alvarez and becomes the first ever male 3-division undisputed champion in boxing history. Thank God the judges got this one right. But wow, what a technical battle this was. It was a very close fight, but as it went on, Terrence was getting more and more comfortable in there. I remember in the 7th round, he even stood right in front of Canelo and fought him on the inside. Then in rounds 9 through 12, Crawford really started to open up on his flurries, gaining Canelo's respect. But the reason Crawford won this fight was because he was surprisingly durable at 168. He was able to do his thing because for the 36 minutes he was in there with Canelo, he was never really worried about what was coming back at him. I mean, Canelo just kept going to Terrence's right side of his body, and that stung a couple times, but those were the really only hard shots Canelo landed. Unfortunately, this is terrible for Canelo's legacy because the smaller men beat him up, and Canelo's kind of been cherry-picking his opponents the last couple years. But well-deserved for Terrence Crawford. It's going to look amazing on his legacy. Boxing got it right tonight. On the biggest stage, with the most eyeballs, no controversy, just pure sport. And one of the best ever at the sport got it done tonight, Terrence Bud Crawford.
Who you think's better out of those two, Crawford or Mayweather?
I think Crawford is better, bigger. He's actually he moved in weight class, and I would say Crawford is a better fight all around fighter. Mayweather is really good too, though. You can't knock him as well. He's very talented. It would have been a tough fight, but I think Crawford would have had the edge over Mayweather because of the long arms and because it's bigger. You know what I'm saying? And he would have kept him at bay. It would have been hard for Mayweather to counter, maybe. But Mayweather's definitely a technician. I mean, like Crawford said, Mayweather has his era, and Crawford this.
Each voice, whether cautious or celebratory, underscores how deeply Crawford's win has reshaped the sports landscape. Through it all, Crawford himself stays grounded. He acknowledges Mayweather's legacy but draws the line clearly. Floyd belonged to his era, and every era must give way to the next. This is my era, he repeats, not to diminish Floyd, but to plant his own flag firmly in boxing's present. And you can't ignore the history he's already made. By becoming the first male fighter to be undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes, Crawford etched his name in the record books forever.
So if we remember, Canelo at that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw. And then the other 2 judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20-something? 20 what? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very young in the game, obviously.
Very young. He had more fights than Floyd, and he lost.
Yeah,
to a man that was 30-something years old, 36.
But Floyd was clearly at the top of his career, and Canelo had fought a lot of people. But
how are you at the top of your career in your prime? You in your prime? You ain't in your prime when you're at 36. That's not your prime.
Did he lose?
20s.
I mean,
your prime is in your 20s.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, okay. Well, so, and that's why Canelo is saying what he's saying.
Want to
make himself look like he did something?
Because you got to remember, Canelo is the guy right now in the sport that's supposed to be the man, big bad wolf. You beat him, you the wolf. Now it's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, who else I'm gonna fight? You beat the shark, you beat the wolf. Right. Damn. Like, you know what I mean? Ain't no more ops out there. It's ops out there, but who gonna make them really want to get up? That's the
shit got to make sense. Like you said, you be the shark, and then you be the wolf.
Yeah.
But there's the monster.
Yeah, there is, but that's like a real monster.
Bro, that's to me it don't make sense. But that's
really
what.
A monster.
Yo, is that proof? All right, we got the legendary Pape in the building. Legend.
Sure, man.
But what makes sense? Like, what makes the most sense? I know you said get a line of suits, Brooks Brothers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
saying? Get a line of suits, get your money, man. Go ahead and get the easy money, man. You ain't got to sweat no more.
What's up, boy?
Not saying you ain't got to work, you ain't got to sweat.
What's happening?
He's paved a career where he could sit down at a table and get this money. He could come out with a Terrence Crawford series now, just doing whatever he like to do. People gonna watch it. Nobody. The fighting part, people don't understand what it's like to be a fighter. A lot of times fighters really don't be interested in certain fights. It's because when a guy see himself up here and then is fighting a guy down here, it don't interest him. So therefore, when he train, he not gonna really train. He gonna train, but he not gonna train. He not gonna listen. He gonna feel like his coach taking it too serious, and he's like, man, this ain't even that. But your coach like, listen, you could get fucked up. I'm telling you, you don't want to listen. Then you go in there and fight that guy. Then you get fucked up. I seen it happen.
The Canelo victory added the final brushstroke, cementing him not only as the man of this era, but as one of the all-time greats. Whether he risks it all against Benavidez or walks away now, Crawford's place in history is secure. And while Mayweather's perfect record will never be erased, you're left with the sense that the torch has been passed. This is Crawford's time, and boxing belongs to him.